Hello and welcome back to Factorio C Block. Last time we were here, we started some green science research, and while we were working on that, we decided to set up a little bit of a mall. Not extensive mall, but a little bit of a mall. So we have a couple of machines making wind turbines here, and I have put up a few of them down here. And we also started with a little bit of a belt mall as well. It is nowhere near completed, but at least gives us a start on making automating belts. We can add in at any time the yellow belts after that. We should also do an inserter mall and perhaps more after that. I don't know how much of that I'll do on screen. Maybe you all can give me some feedback on how much of that you want to see versus how much you want me to just recap. But at least for now, I think we should work on the thing we researched the last time, which was not that, but this, Basic Chemistry 2. Specifically the catalysts, or the electrodes rather, that are here. It would be the electrolyzer electrode and the clean used electrode, as well as these fast electrolysis recipes. And while they aren't any more efficient in terms of how much ins and outs, they do require the use of these catalysts, and they do work twice as fast, which means that they're more efficient electrically for the amount of slag you're getting or the amount of oxygen and hydrogen you're getting. Now, these other ones we will do at some point in the future because I don't know what they're used for yet. And speaking of that, I don't even really know exactly what I want to do next as far as research goes. I do know one thing. I upgraded the pacifist mod, and somehow the military research came back. So I sent in a bug report to Derpumu, so hopefully we will get straightened out. I don't yet see the need for washing 2. Maybe we'll get there soon, but I don't see the need for it yet until we start washing the geodes, but we don't have a use for the geodes yet, so I'm kind of meh. Automation 2 also meh. We're not really using automation, or we're barely really even getting enough use out of assembler 1. We don't really need assembling machines 2. We also talked about the boilers and the steam engines level 2. Other than the amount of space they take up, because you only need half as many of them, there's not any real advantage. And actually someone in the comments told me that the other advantage of them used to be that they used to be more efficient, fuel to electricity wise, but that's no longer available, or that's no longer in the game, so that doesn't really give us any benefit anymore. So there was one other benefit that they told me about that I don't exactly remember what it was, but I don't think we need to worry about those, at least not yet. If they lead to something we need later on, we can do them, of course. We probably will need these heat exchangers and fluid burning boilers at some point. Well, perhaps. So we might want to unlock them at that point, but until then, I'm not going to worry about them. Same thing with heat pipes. We don't have a use for heat pipes yet, but I'm assuming we will when we do the heat exchanger boiler. Burner, heat source, things like that. So eventually we'll need them. We'll definitely need them for nuclear power down the road. Advanced ore refining, I would like to do. It gives us a different recipe for each of the 4 most used ores, iron, copper, lead, and tin. But at this point, I think we're going to not do that yet either. There's a whole host of other things, but I'm not going to go through all of them at this point. The charcoal pellets, though, sound interesting to me. And it turns 5 charcoal, which have a fuel value of 4, into 1 pellet that has a fuel value of 24. Which means that it's quite a bit more efficient. So unless I'm missing something, this is actually something we want to do for fuel, because it makes it a little bit more dense on the belt, and which means that we can, make things run a little bit longer on one chunk and things like that. So we probably want to do that at some point. I also want to do paper making, which may sound weird, except that paper making is used in the circuit network stuff. And so if you want to do circuit wires, then you need paper. And so I think we want to do paper making very soon. It'll be a fairly simple build, but I think we can do that. I don't know what blue algae is used for yet. Wood processing, we talked about this. I did some math on this, and I'm going to double check it, but I don't think this is actually power efficient compared to doing the green algae build. But we can double check the math on that in a future episode as well. Let's see, chlorine processing. We'll wait until we have something carbon processing too. We can do that at some point. Inserter capacity bonus, I would actually like to do, so let's just go ahead and do that one. It's kind of a utility one at this point. Logistics 2, we're not even using yellow belts, so we don't need reds. Barreling, until we need it for something else down below here. Lasting charges. Interesting. I don't know what else we want that for. Advanced material processing is steel furnaces, basically. We'll wait until we need those, I think. Engines, yes. Electric energy distribution, eventually at least, yes. Tool belt we could always use as well. Let's actually go ahead and throw that in there too. And why not do steel axe too, which gives us increased mining speed as well. And then, so I think the thing I'm going to research first is going to be paper of the actual technologies. And we will go with that as our thing. Ooh, that unlocks, or that leads to optimized biome planner, which is a different green science. And that leads to a whole bunch of farming, gardening things, which we don't know anything about at this point, but might be interesting. So maybe we do that at some point down the road. I'm going to go ahead and add a circuit network onto this too, because once paper's done, that's the reason I'm doing paper. So we'll do that. We could actually even do Steel Axe 3 already. Why not throw that in there too? And we'll call that good enough for now. Okay, so I did do a design for this in Hellmod. Let me get away from these noisemakers. So let's go this way. Just so we don't have quite so much racket. I did do a design for these, and we can kind of compare it to, well, kind of part of you. Yes, you. So this one, 24 electrolyzers will produce 6 slag. This is electrolyzer, dirt, water, electrolysis 1, and then that gets mixed in with the 1.5 slag that could be in theory coming back from the crushing process, although given that we're using that advanced crushing process, we're not getting this much. So this is actually not this much, which means we're not getting this much, and we're also not actually using 24 of these machines. We have only a mere 21 of them, and some of it is going into being here to be made into this stuff, mineral, whatever it is, mineralized water, for the purposes of making fuel. So it's not exactly a true thing here, but this eventually does give us, in theory, the 75 mineral sludge, which is what we're using here to come up with these things. Oh, and that's one other thing I did. I forgot to talk about that. I added 2 more of these, and I changed them so there's 2 of each. For better or for worse, there are now 2 of each, and we're just going to have to live with it, I guess, for now. So back into that Hellmod. So that kind of is where this sort of stops, is how much of this we're actually making this mineral sludge, because that's how we based all of these, was on 75 mineral sludge for these kind of thoughts and ideas and plans here. So I did this plan too, and I only went as far as what we need to make the 7.5 slag, assuming that we're not getting any on the feedback loop, of course, but also because we're going to consume a little bit for making the mineral sludge for the other stuff. So what I did here was I started out with that a second recipe in the dirt water electrolysis. So now we need 15 machines to make 7.5, and if you do the math, it would be 30 machines to make 7.5 directly in the old recipe. So it's half the machines, which means half the power for the same amount of stuff. But you have to also manage these electrolyzer electrodes, because every time it processes, it turns one of them into a used one. So now you have to undo that, and that takes 4.29 chemical plants to undo. It also costs you purified water, which we'll have to make, and that makes a bunch of water, but not quite enough to feed back into the loop, so that means we have to add water into this loop, and also that gives us mineralized water out, which we will then have to deal with as well, which we actually are not dealing with in this plan, but that'll go into making the algae to make the fuel, of course, and that means we won't have to use as much of this to make the mineralized water. Why am I saying that weird? For that. So then here we're making all of that purified water we need for this part of the process here, from 225 oxygen and 337.5 hydrogen, except that we have 225 oxygen here, but only 300 hydrogen here. And that means we need to come up with 37.5 more hydrogen from someplace. And I'll get to that, or that's actually next. So that balances this except for that lack of hydrogen, these top 3 lines. So in order to produce more hydrogen, we can do some more electrolyzing, And in that case, I wanted to use the purified water electrolysis so that we don't get any more slag out of it. So the whole point of this here is to produce additional hydrogen by electrolysis, because it's the only other source of hydrogen at this point in the game is electrolysis. And then, of course, that requires its own electrolyzer electrodes, English Wally. And I rounded this up a bit, and I'll get into that in just a minute, but just for purposes of this, imagine that this is just making 37.5 of this, which means that this is going to make some lesser amount, 25 or something like that. So we have a little bit of a surplus of oxygen here, which is what we actually do want, is some surplus of oxygen in this plant. And then we need to clean those electrolyzer electrodes. So we have that here, which means that's going to produce a little bit more water back, as well as a little bit more mineralized water back. And and then we need to flush out from all of this, or sorry, we now need to feed in some more purified water into this process so that we can purify these two steps. And for that, I could not make purified water from hydrogen. I had to make purified water from water, which means we have a surplus of 52.5 saline water. But you know, I just thought of something. I don't actually have to do all of this, these latter steps, if I don't want to. I could just make less of this purified water, or there's a reason why I did this, but I don't have to do this. I could make less of this purified water from these components and supplement it instead with this. If I did that, that would consume then 300 hydrogen, which would consume 200 oxygen, which would be okay, except that we're using oxygen for other things, and this is why I didn't do that step. I just forgot that I forgot. And we're using oxygen for a couple other things. One of those is in here. We are using it here to mix with the sulfur to make sulfur dioxide. So we have to have oxygen as a surplus of some other production here for that. And we're also using oxygen over here to make steel and lead when we need steel and lead. There's another option, though, for oxygen, which we could do instead of doing this. We could make oxygen. Let's go to FNA over here, and let's do oxygen. And let's do a craft. And so in addition to the, of course, electrolysis recipes, of which there are 4, we could do air separation, which takes in compressed air from an air pump and turns it into nitrogen and oxygen in a chemical plant. So we could do that as well. And you know, thinking about that, and that's all we have for right now. Thinking about that, we could do that, and I wonder if I should maybe consider doing up a separate planner for that to get our extra oxygen rather than doing this whole thing. And so I think what I will do actually here is I will pause for a moment, do that planner up, and then we can come back and compare it. So I will be right back. And welcome back. So I just took a quick copy of this and put it in here, and the numbers got a little wonky, but what ends up being is I put one hydro plant in here to turn some water into some purified water and some saline water. We'll have to, of course, sink that like we're doing elsewhere. And then that uses fewer of these chemical plants to make the purified water out of the oxygen and hydrogen, which means we have some surplus. And then I just forced in some additional oxygen from a chemical plant here, which will be pulled from the chemical plant here, and then that, of course, requires air filters. Now, I don't know exactly how much of this oxygen we're going to want, but the kind of point of it here is that we're going to want to do this as an addition to this thing. So if we kind of look at the power usage here, this is 7.5 megawatts of power usage, and this is 8.7. So, and this is going to produce more of the oxygen in this plant already than this, with almost the same amount of hydrogen, but the hydrogen is just getting vented anyways. So that's fine. Producing a little bit less of the mineralized water, but I think that's okay. And I think this ends up being better anyway. So let's actually go with this plan instead of the other one. Let's see, pin that. We need to talk though about how we're gonna do this, I should say. And the plan that I'm kind of coming up with is to move this down, which is why I built this extra land. We're gonna use 15 of the electrolyzers here. The rest of them will be garbage for now, which is, 6 of them, which is kind of why I had the other plan, because like we could at least use the electrolyzers that way, but I think this will work out better. We need to have, let's see, 5 plus 4 chemical plants, So we need 9 chemical plants. We should probably make those or get those started here. And then, where the heck are those at? Over here? Over here. 5, we'll just do 10. That's fine. Make. 10 of those. And then 1 of the hydro plants, which is here. Run out of something here pretty soon. Actually, I did it at 10th one because I need that one as well. And then, I don't know if we actually need 3 air filters right now, but I'll make at least 1 for now. If I can recall where those are in this thing. And I could, of course, use the search, but sometimes I like browsing. So let's just do 1 air filter for now, and then we can figure out how much oxygen we're actually going to need long term. So I think I'm just going to take this whole thing up, kind of wholesale. I do want to copy it as is, though, all the way to this point. Maybe that point. We're just going to put it in the blueprint down there just to have it. And then I just want to rip this whole thing up kind of wholesale, and we'll start over fresh with something. Yeah, take that all up, please. And I'll let the belt run out so I don't have to pick up all that stuff, all that slag, but for now at least this will be it. And of course this is going to shut down parts of my base, and we have to kind of be a little bit wary of what we're doing here damage-wise. So I'm going to want to reconnect that power up there, and reconnect this power up here, just to make sure we have the power going. And we're going to eventually lose this, but we have enough, I hope, coming in here that we can live off of it. We can always redirect some of this down as well, this slag down here, if we wanted, if we were concerned about that. At this point, I'm not sure if I need to be concerned or not. Oh, this also ran out of power connections. That's the problem with running power through power. You sometimes forget what you got powered. Let's see, come over. Oh, actually, that's a good spot right there. There you go. There you go. And we are overproducing our fuel for the stuff yet, so that should be okay. We'll leave that there as is. I'm probably going to end up pulling those out as well. Or I am going to probably end up pulling... I am going to pull those out as well. We can kind of go back to this plan, though. Almost exactly. Except, of course, that these will all end up being a different recipe. And we'll have to add in a belt bringing in the clean electrolyzer thingies. So I want to do this. And we also don't need this many of these, so we have to trim some of the other ones from the head end of this. I want to bring this in like this. And like this. No. Not like that. Come on back, people. Actually, let's go ahead and take out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These last several here. Might as well. Not going to need them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one also. That goes. This goes. Did I have these pipes connected in some way? I might have here. I did have water coming in this way. Is there water over here that's handy that I can make into this easily? Kind of, yes. We could steal it from here. Kind of, yes. I have to go up. Just do it like this. And then bring this across to there. And that'll be good enough for now. We can decide later. We don't need much here anyways. And this is actually full as it is, so we're not going to need much here, but we're going to need fuel long-term eventually. We're not going to use this much because we're not doing things like this cycle anymore or anything, so that's going to help, but not entirely. This also needs to be trimmed here. And then these we'll have to figure out how we're going to handle. So this all needs a different recipe, and we can do that now, I think. We want... this one, because we still want the slag. So we're going to set all those. Cannot reach. Okay, fine. And it's really, really hard to see those. I hope they all get changed. 2, 2, 2, 2. You can barely see that 2 there. And, oops, yep. Okay, and then we also need an area here for the, to do this cleaning process. So let's actually add a little bit more landfill, maybe right over in here someplace. Or maybe I should do it down here, away from that a little bit. Let's see, what do you need in there? The electrolyzer electrodes, okay, that's fine. Water, oxygen. The problem is it's going to come from this oxygen and stuff here. So I guess we'll just do it here. This is fine. This is fine. Just make a bit of an area here and get that hooked up. Okay, so we got those 15, and then we need 5 of these, and we're just going to lay them out. We'll figure it out later. I want to do a pipeline between all of them like this, and then we'll copy this forward, kind of. This is going to be 2 separate outputs, so we'll want to have maybe a space in between them, because we'll want to do this type of thing, I think. That's not what I wanted at all. This type of thing, I think. And then we can do also this chemical plant over here that will provide that. And then we'll also want one of these to provide more of that too. That's going to take from water. Water, this has got water on it. Oh, I know what else I wanted. I want an overflow valve. Do I have any on me? I do have one. I want to put that in down here. Oopsie. What if instead of this being there, you move it there? Oops. I missed. Move that down here like this, and then this becomes the overflow valve right here. The reason I want an overflow valve is I do not want the pump water to fill this network up constantly. I want the water venting out of this system here to provide the water up to 80%. So we'll have to, and that's where this is going to connect in and things like that. So we'll have to deal with that, but we'll deal with that. That's good. This will be multiplied out by for 5 of them, because we need 4.29, so 5 of them there, and that's going to output a belt of the electrodes for a belt of the used electrodes. So we have to have 2 belts here. We also need power, and we need to have this connected all the way up, like that. I need pipes. A bunch of pipes. And then we'll have oxygen and hydrogen that are coming from here into this area. So of course we need to duplicate this idea, like that, sort of. And we need 4 of these, 3.15 of these. 3, 4. And then we also need to have this thing, which could be either at the beginning or the end. The advantage is kind of either one. Now it's also got the saline water in it, though, so we have to get rid of that. I think I want it at the beginning, then. I might need a little bit more space here. That could be trimmed on the end. Here and here. And then here and there. Those have to be connected or connectable. And then we can do a this. So you're going to actually have purified water. Oh, maybe you should go like this. Sort of. Yeah. Yeah, maybe like this. It probably doesn't matter much. Like, almost like that. That would almost work. It would almost work. What if... This is a big what if, but what if this were rotated this way instead? That could go there. These could be fixed or not. I think not. Maybe that's better. I, of course, have to change the end caps then, because you don't have caps there. You don't have these here. Please, thank you. And instead, you have connections on this end now. I usually don't delete those until I'm satisfied with things, but there I go, trying to save myself some effort. Then we'll need to vent this stuff, of course, and we'll have water coming in here. I do need to move this up a little bit more, but we can do that. And then we still have to have a belt in and a belt out here. And we also then need to have 2 inserters. That's going to be the tougher part, because this is a little bit snug. What might be better then is to change this. Instead of doing this one like this, it might be better to do the underground reach method like this. and then put those out wherever the heck we want them. Still having the water be close here. We can put both arms here then. And then this can be one belt in, one belt out. And we can have an arm... sort of. I don't like that either. In that case... Yeah, I don't like that either. Because it's not able to reach into here. I think, actually, the way this needs to be is this needs to be 2 reaches. Yes, this needs to be 2 reaches. And we put all of it at the far end. Or the farce, whatever. Farce, whatever, yeah. Which way would be better for the belts here? In or out? Let's actually flip those. So that out is on this side. And then we can do these wherever we want over here. There's no binding thing there. And then this can go here. Still need 2 arms though, Wally. Still need 2 arms. I don't like it. I had a different design in mind, or in my plan, and then I changed things, so now I don't like this one either. Oh, this will be fine. This will be fine. If we do this, and we do the double like this, and then we take this one, and we do input like this, that'll be perfect. And then we just need a power pole, every one like this, and that'll be perfectly fine. We could have one on the end too, I think. And then we'll have to have power poles here as well, somewhere. And I might as well just do kind of in the same spot, even though these don't actually have inserter needs. That'll work out okay, I think. And then we'll vent this. We need to move this whole thing up, as I said. So let's do some more landfill up here, just a bit more. Like this, maybe. And we'll also do a bit over here. Got plenty. This isn't even the half of what I have. This will go up then. This position should be probably there. You can be first, you can be second. Actually, could go out one more then. But don't connect that, thank you. And then we can do this instead. This, that, this, that. And then we can just do straight pipes here. And here. Let's see. For the water in and the water out and the other stuff out. So this one will come down and it could mix in with this at any point, really. I think this is fine of a spot here. We'll just need to go under that one. And then we can do this, I think. And you can go there, there, and up into there. And this will still only maintain 80%. Why did you fill right back up again? Did I do the wrong valve? Yeah, I did. I did the wrong valve. I need not an overflow valve, but a top-up valve. I'm an idiot. All right, let's flush this network of the water. It's easier to do than to hope and pray that it works out properly. I did the wrong thing. So now you'll fill up with... eventually you'll fill it up to 80%. So there should be about 8,000 and change water in that network. If even that full was 11K. Okay, 9,000 and change. It's fine. So that we need a clarifying pool. Yeah, clarifier. Also, all that research we set up finished. I don't know if I have enough room over here for it or not, but we can move. We can add more landfill if we need to. That's going to take a minute. And then this will come out and it'll go into this here someplace. And I think it can just come in here at the end, more or less. So we'll just take that down and hook that up later. Don't forget. So we do need this, but we don't actually need this here. This can go anywhere. This can go over here. This can go over by steel. This can go anywhere. We don't actually need this stuff here, so we'll save it for later. And then I think all the other things we need to do is we need to bring this belt down. Turn it here. And connect it up to where we started from. Right there. Or not started from, but you know what I mean. Do this. Bring this one down. Bring this one around. Actually, no, not there. Bring this around here. I'm going to run out of... No, I'm not going to run out of belt. Bring this all the way down here. And then this needs to end, actually, here in this area. We need to put in inserters like this to grab those new, fresh new things. There, and here and there, and here and there. And why am I doing it this way? Do it this way. Well, that's why. There, please. There, please. There, please. There, please. And then here. That'll grab the good ones, and they can stop actually right here. They don't need to go any further. I could loop them, I suppose, and maybe we'll want to, but we could loop them. And then this needs to be where the bad ones come in. And in order to handle the bad ones, we need to bring these two belts together here. You and you. Do this. Do an output priority, say left of the, what are those things called? Used electrolyzer electrode. Used electrolyzer electrode. On the left, those will come out here and into this. Well, the slag comes out the other one. Guess I could have moved that over, but it would have been weird with this, so it's fine there. And the slag will come out here, and this will be a full belt of slag that'll go into this system up here. Now, of course, I do still want to run it past here, so I think maybe I will take it back down again, this way, and back over this way here, like that. Just so that it can run past this part of the system here, and get put into or past this so that this can have enough, and then I think that's it. This, I wanted this to look not as stupid as it does right now. Maybe we cut those out. We cut this like this. We push it all the way over to there. I think that looks less stupid, but I don't know. And then we just need to connect power to this thing and get it started again. But we need to make these electrolyzers yet. And there is a recipe to make them. Those are in something menu. Here they are. We need steel plates and carbon to make these. And carbon we need to make in, I think, a chemical plant. I think we've done this already once, right? And it's not there. It's a liquefier. We did this once. We're not here, but up in... Oh yeah, green circuits up there someplace. We've done it already once. And this is a one-time thing because these are, there's carbon right there. Liquefier, yes. Don't have any. Okay, let's make one. And then it's just an assembler to make these. And do we have an assembler? I think so. Oh, we do have one. Okay. So for these now, we need to output them onto the clean belt. And I think the way I want to do this is to just put them here. Yeah, here. We'll do this recipe. And we'll do the liquefier. That'll do. Carbon. We need to bring, of course, we need to make steam, which means we need another boiler. We are way over time for this one. That'll be okay, because I kind of did some talking at the beginning. And then we just need to bring in some fuel here. For this, we need some water, of course. You know what? Let's move that up by 1 then. That's fine. We need some water in here. We need fuel in here. Maybe I'll do the fuel up here. I don't know where I have fuel at. Right there. Right wherever. And then we can bring steel in here also. And for this purpose, I'm just going to use a box. And we'll put steel in a box. I may even put just the fuel in a box too. Yeah, let's just do both. Because this is only a temporary setup. So this will be fine. I'll just do like this. You can grab from there. You can grab from here. We'll grab some fuel and some steel. I might have some. I have some steel. And I have some fuel as well. Let's get it started at least, and then we can go from there. You need a little bit of power here. Go ahead and connect up from there. This I'm going to connect, I think, down from here. Oh, I guess you need power there. That'll get that going. This will need from here. And then this will go, let's do this and that. Move this to there and there. You need power then too, of course. And then I want one of you to be short, one of you to be long. And I actually need to do the same thing for these. Some of these need to be short, some of them need to be long. So let's shorten this one. And this one. And this one. And actually this one I need to have two of them here. So I think what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to cheat it a little bit. And I'm going to have some more arms made. Oh, making circuits now. Ugh. Okay, then don't make all of those. Just make some. I have some more arms made, and I'm going to make this one grab and do a weird movement. But it'll be okay because it's only going to be running kind of half the time. We're going to just do this. It'll be weird, but it'll be fine, I think. Ah, I have a better idea yet. You go there. You not short. You go here. Now you got a short one and a long one, kind of. That'll get those started, which is getting this started, which means we're getting slag, and we're getting used ones. The used ones are going up there. The slag's coming down here, and that's got to work its way around, which means we're going to make a lot of these. A lot of them. And we're now producing water out of this. We need to hook these up yet. Oh, I screwed that up. I screwed this up. I shouldn't have put those there. Oh. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that at all. How to fix that a reasonable way. That's why I had them on that side. I can't really fix that a reasonable way. I gotta do this the breakage way. Okay. Time for breaky. I need those to be way over here, which means I'm running up against that, which I don't like. But there's not really a solution for it, so I'm just going to do it like that and kind of hope and pray. This has got to get changed then. This has all got to get changed then. You get to go over here. You can come along. You can go back. You can go this way. Still got to do that, but it's over here now. And then this can go this way. This goes into there. That still stops there. This comes out here. And that should be good enough. Oops. It goes there. Okay, that should be good enough. You need the fuel back? Yeah, I know. That, please. You need this carbon that I picked up, as well as the steel. Just stuff it in there. I'll go get some more. Used electrolyzer electrodes go in here. That's fine. And the good ones can go just across a few of these. Like that. That'll be fine. There's only a few of them. And this will just run again, and again, and again. We need to connect up this, though, because we do not have enough oxygen or hydrogen here, of course. That worked out well enough, I suppose. That's good right there. And then the hydrogen actually will need to do one of these numbers. And I need more copper pipe again. Means I need more copper eventually here. You go to there. You can have maybe this. You can have maybe this. And then those will need to connect to this output over here. And what I think I'm going to do is do that off camera. Do the other, fuel this up some more, give some more fuel and some more steel, and let this thing get kind of seated in for you all and for the beginning of the next episode. So for now, thank you all for joining me, and I will see you all then. Bye for now.